Alright, you can fire whenever. Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I wanted to talk to you guys today about preserving an original firearm. I actually learned this from a museum curator who took care of original firearms. And this is exactly how they do it. It might seem a little weird or awkward, but this is how they do it. And there's a reason for it. So, real quick, we have this Remington, new model. And if you see, it's got a brownish patina on it. Everybody loves that brownish patina. The brownish patina is just rust. That's it. That's all it is. And if you ever go to a museum and look at the firearms behind the cases, you will not see that brownish patina on higher end curated museums. But what the whole idea of this is, when there's that brown is basically a red rust. Red rust is active rust. Black rust is dead rust. The bluing on a gun is dead rust. It works as a protectant to keep the gun from rusting, but all it is a layer of rust, technically. The idea behind all this is, for instance, this is my new 49 pocket model. As you can see, it's completely disassembled. The only thing I haven't got disassembled, and I wish was disassembled, is it still has the nipples and the cylinder, but that's in due time. They're stuck. It's going to take a lot to get those out, and I'm praying I don't have to re-drill them out or anything crazy. As you see, it's all here. Now, what we're going to do is very similar to the video I made on the 51 Navy that had some rust on it to get rid of the rust. What we're actually going to do is you're going to heat distilled water up to a boiling. And then you're going to add the parts of the revolver. Now, I usually don't do brass. There's just no point in doing brass. Brass can't rust. Alright? Now, I personally do not do springs and things with springs on it, but you can. It does not hurt springs. Water does not get hot enough in a boiling state to change the temper on a spring. After ultrasonic cleaning it, you know, it's just sitting here getting ready to go through this preservation method. I'll bring you back in a little bit. I'm about to add that to the water, the metal parts. You know, only metal parts. Don't do wood, obviously. I'm doing the 49 pocket because I shot it today, and I will be doing this Remington right after this because I shot it today. And it's kind of the first chance I get, because these weapons are fairly new to me. I'll bring you back in a little bit to see how the little 49 pocket stew is going. Okay, we are back with cooking a 49 pocket model with snapper. But as you can see, it's boiling. We'll give it usually about 30 to 40 minutes. Just let it boil. I'll bring you guys back when that's done. Alright, so we've been boiling in the water for now about 35-40 minutes or so. Now I'm going to take it out and I'll show you guys what it looks like before you have to card it. Now, this is the exact same process as like on the 51 Navy. There's several ways to do this. They make a carding wheel. That's the best, but they're expensive, and if you did a lot of guns, it's worth it. But if you don't, it's not. Using triple-aught steel wool, the finest steel wool you can get, and lightly going over it. I've actually even used a toothbrush before. That works too. So let me pull it out, and I'll show you what it looks like. And again, in the very beginning, it looks a little scary when it comes out, because it will flash a very thin flash rust over everything. Very, very thin, and it comes off by just rubbing. And then your surface will be perfect. And like I've said, this process is done on $1 million guns, and I promise you this will not hurt your firearm in any way, shape, or form. There's thousands and hundreds of thousands of guns that have been done this way. Matter of fact, rust blowing is done this exact same way. So, alright guys, we pull out and I'll show you what it looks like. So I just got it out of the water, and what I want to show you is why this is so important. If you look at this, you see how there's all this black staining now? And that obviously goes away when you start carding, but everything that's dark black was active rust. Even though this gun had no rust that you could look at it and say, hey, that's rust, it actually looked pretty good. But every single thing that's a dark speck was an active rust, a red rust that was actually eating the gun. Even though you couldn't really see it, it was a real thin or real light, but all that black marking was active rust that was actually eating the firearm. So you go upstairs, dry everything off, and as you can see, it's all over the gun. The cylinder, for instance. Once I go over it with the dry it off and then go over it lightly with the 4/0 steel wool, it'll look gorgeous. I mean, I've done this to every single one of my firearms. My Dragoon was done this way. Pretty much all my firearms, every one that's original has been done this way. Alright guys, I'll bring you back when I start carding. As you can see, like the cylinder, I've done the cylinder a little bit, and there's a little bit right there still, but it ends up being that really nice deep gunmetal kind of color and ends up looking great. So I'm going to sit here, spend some time carding all this and blending it in and getting it all nice and lubed up. So I just got done with the cylinder and I wanted to show you guys how well it came out. But before you could see the cylinder scene okay, but now it really, there it goes, now it really pops. Like you could see it really, really well. Like it stands out really well. So, alright guys, I'm going to keep going. I just wanted to show you that because it came out really nice. Okay, so I just got it done. Wanted to show you guys how it came out. Honest old revolver. You can see all the markings and what have you. The cylinder scene is so vivid now. Now, I want to be 100% clear about this. This process is not meant to make a gun look pretty or anything like that. I've seen guns that have looked a lot prettier coming out. Normally they look about the same. But this gets rid of any hidden rust or micro rust that's just under the surface. And that's why you'll notice that there was a lot of staining right when I first did it, because that was a lot of rust going from a red oxide to a black oxide. And you know, just going over it with steel wool, take a lot of that out, but you will notice a little bit more color changing where there's a lighter and a darker. At the end of the day, it came out great, and I recommend this on any old gun. And that's just because this is meant to make it last another 100+ years.